in between the buttons. So
Well,
it
you
has
need it, Jesus.
Coming this Friday, only on Fox.
I thought you were gonna go.
Coming here!
No, only when I'm cheating death.
It's very, yeah, I can hear it. It's just going the whole time.
No, you hear it now?
Yes. Sounds like it's raining.
It sounds like you're an old 45 playing with the bed.
And they tell you about a story.
That's game. It's volume. Let me turn my game down.
I need a haircut, man. I'm looking like Emo Dave again. We're gonna do this whole show as Emo Dave.
Huh. Cause tonight will be
the night that I will fall for you.
How's that? Is that better?
more gooder. Yeah, sounds like it was a lug nut.
Fixed it. Cool.
I think it sounds better when it sounds like it's coming from a record.
All right, Emo Dave. Why don't you go? Hey, why don't you go make like the cheese and cut yourself?
Hold on, let me flip my hair real quick.
Fumble.
Very, very Jack Black of you just then.
Go.
Oh yeah.
Go.
Hey, Chico, you want to mess with the bad guy?
So what's up, boys? How are you?
Oh, super.
Peachy.
We were just talking like, what do we have to talk about? And Dave's like, I got nothing. Like, really? Nothing happened all week?
All I do is go to school and play video games.
All I do is win.
Beat my dick.
Let's see. I can talk about the sketchiest pickup will call I've made.
Oh.
I can talk about racist Jerry.
That's one I want to hear. I mentioned that to Dave.
So
Or as I like to call him, Uncle Jerry.
But Dave, you're too dark for him. He wouldn't like you.
Wait, is Winter Dave too dark for him?
Too dark for.
Winter Dave is too dark for him. All right.
Wow.
Because you'd say something about Olympia, and then he'd be like,
"Trying to take our jobs."
He's one of those brown people.
Did I send you that TikTok about the comedian who it was a Mexican comedian? He was talking about, you know what? None of my homies are like, hey man, let's go steal some jobs.
No, maybe you didn't send me that one. Did you send me the one about blackface?
Yes, I sent you that one. Oh my God, that was so funny.
It's like, you're not going to let me go out without blackface, and I'm not going to let you smile.
I'm going to find it real fast. This one's funny. This is Dave when we're playing Call of Duty, and he's sitting there looking at TikTok. We're like waiting for him to press start to start the game, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry."
I always forget. I get distracted. There's too many boobs on the Twitters.
I found my way into Muscle Girl TikTok.
Nice.
It's a good place to be.
I like that.
Buff chicks who got big titties, but like not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Not like IFBB.
Right.
Chicks.
Like fit.
Like yeah.
Cannot do it. We agree?
Yep.
We agree. Okay, good. Blackface is wrong. Can I do it? Blackface is wrong.
Oh yeah.
Well, I have to ask the blackfaces. I can't ask the fucking rest of you. Blackface is wrong. It's racist. You cannot do it. Under no circumstances. Cannot do it. Then you see them Navy SEALs commercials.
This is agave nectar.
Sometimes you could do it.
Oh.
The whole Navy SEALs
Agave
commercials.
nectar.
Like, look how cool blackface is on a helicopter. Look how cool blackface is on a boat. Blackface in the water. They can swim. I don't know if they say that. I might have added that part. That's on me. But I'm just saying, life or death situation, it changes the stakes. Let's say, for example, me and you, we're going on a mission to save America. The mission takes place at 1 a.m. That is an important piece of the information on the call sheet. You have your complexion. I have the complexion of an iPhone flashlight. If you don't give me blackface, we're fucking dead.
You see on the video, this guy does have the complexion of an iPhone.
Right? Like,
you want to see her again? You gotta paint me the fuck up,
it's
bro.
so pale that he
Full thing.
looks
You don't have to do the lips and the
non-existent.
tap shoes. That's a little bit
Is
much.
that powder?
You gotta paint me up. You gotta paint me the fuck up. You're not gonna let me go on that mission with you without putting on blackface for your safety. Just like I'm not gonna let you smile. There's certain things.
My dad he used to work nights, right? So he'd leave in the middle of the night. So when I was a kid, when you'd have sleepovers and stuff like that, my buddy Pete would spend the night. I think Robin, you know Pete.
Pete Bosch?
Yeah, Pete Bosch.
Yeah.
And at night before my dad left, he'd walk into the living room and be like, "All right, boys, you have a good night. I'm heading to work. Make sure you go to sleep soon." And I'm like, "All right, Dad, have a good night. Love you. Talk to you later." And then Dad would look around. "Pete, smile, Pete. I don't know where you're at." And then Pete would be like, "I'm right here, Mr. Deaton." He's like, "Oh, there you are. Well, I'll see you later."
God damn it. Funny and terrible.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is the same Pete that did his senior pictures wrapped in the Confederate flag. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
Right. Trying to find that one with the other
Oh, I can talk
Canadian.
about Ben being here.
Oh yeah, and now he's here.
Oh yeah. Have you guys gone to the casino yet?
No, I haven't talked to him because I got. Oh man, my day's been weird. Maybe I didn't send you the Mexican one.
Are you dad sitting?
Sort of. I'll tell you about it. I guess I could tell you now.
Enjoy this tasty soda here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I need to get
soda.
I don't think I have any tequila, but I have some beers.
Mm-hmm. There's four of them in the bottom of the fridge.
Nothing but Coke and sugar in there.
Yeah.
In my fridge? Let me go check. Fuck, Michael.
I saw this website or this thing. It was like, hey, just so you all know, piracy is wrong and very illegal. You shouldn't do it. Just so you know, these are websites to avoid if you want to avoid piracy.
Yeah, those are funny. Like, I enjoy it. Is this the one?
It's like when I say...
People really freak out. You guys are like, they're going to take your job.
It's illegal to say I want to kill the President of the United States of America.
9:07.
Why did my calculator open up?
Probably because you said calculator.
No, when I put my headphones down, I think it opened it for some reason.
That happens a lot.
I can't find it. I can't find the guy that I watched. Maybe I didn't even like the video because it doesn't show up on my liked videos.
Jesus.
What happened?
Milwaukee with just terrible passes going on here. I mean, they're still up, but only by 6 now.
Yeah, the Lakers just lost. That was fun. And Dylan Brooks is playing terrible.
So bad.
The Kings are up 3 on the Warriors after 1.
Good.
New York Knicks oust Cavs for first playoff series win since 2013.
Yep.
Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks.
The old Knickerbockers.
Make sure you enunciate that, Dave. You already have a track record.
I said CK.
Oh, I want to show you a video that I watched earlier, but I don't.
Let's bust out the old. Yeah, get the old New York Knicks. Is one of them. My old Tim Hardaway. I got a Kristaps Porzingis too.
Nice.
Remember that from back in the day?
Uh-huh.
All right, now it's like a corn video.
Con.
I feel like they were like one of the first bands to do that whole like camera on the end of the bass guitar thing, and then like the guy would be playing the bass and then the camera's looking down, going all over the place because new metal bands swung their shit all over the place.
I think Alice in Chains did that.
Did they?
Like, yeah. It seems like something I remember, but I could be wrong. I don't know things.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is how I'm drinking these tonight.
Pat McAfee at the draft. Oh my god,
dude, that was so funny. Good. You might not know me because we didn't punt a lot when we played Tennessee.
Nah, okay, I can't drink them like that. I can.
I'm
not taking them off the plastic.
Oh.
I thought it would be funny to have Nolan's walk-up music changed from Mi Gente, which is...
It has walk-up music?
Well, they originally had planned to do walk-up music for the kids, but, like all good plans, they often go by the wayside. Anyway, well, that didn't go the way as planned.
It went by the wayside.
So what happened was... Like he picked Mi Gente, which is like the song that he got from the Smurfs movie, and he really likes. And then I thought it would be really funny because up until this last week he absolutely refused to swing the bat. It was either walk or strikeout every single time.
Oh.
As the season progresses, similarly to how it did last year, the strikeout rate is increasing and the walk rate is decreasing.
Yeah.
Because the kids are realizing I can just throw it over the plate and kid's not going to do shit. Yeah. So up until this last game where he got a couple hits and everything's fine and dandy like sour candy. Anyway, I thought it'd be funny to have his walk-up music be Walk by Pantera.
Yes.
Ray.
But it's also funny because he was trying to get a walk.
It's a walk. Walk.
Talking to me. I bet his on-base percentage is fucking sky high, though, huh?
No.
Isn't?
It was.
No.
It was good.
His on-base percentage was incredibly high through his first 3 or 4 at-bats. After that, not so much.
No. They caught on to his scheme.
I've heard like last year it was so frustrating. Like I'm trying to coach, and I just hear the other coach say to the pitcher during the playoff game, like, he's not going to swing, just throw it over the plate.
Oh shit!
And I'm like, Nolan, he's going to throw it over the plate. You're going to strike out.
Crank it.
Crank.
Strike 1. Strike 2. Strike 3.
Did he have like a phobia? What was the deal?
I have a theory. He found out he could get on base by not swinging the bat, and that's easy to do.
Yeah.
In the words of Hank Hill, we don't play a lawyer ball, son.
Yeah, that's Riv would do that too, except for she would just eventually swing at something terrible and still get out.
And yeah, he by dumb luck he threw the bat out there and hit it past the pitcher and got on base, and then all of a sudden he had all the confidence in the world, and then actually swung in his next at bat and knocked the shit out of it. But because his team is garbage, like they were playing a 9-man infield, and so he hit it to like between the kids, so he got on base.
Yeah. But
it was like over the second baseman's head and right in front of the third baseman.
Oh.
That's what I should do for a summer job. I should get licensed to be an umpire.
I think you could probably just show up at this point.
I'll tell you, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah. Well, like I reffed Riv's soccer game last weekend, and I was like, I'm gonna be a very partial ref. Riv, you need to do this. I'm out there like coaching because I was like, this. She volunteered me.
Right. My dad will do it.
No, they're like trying to find a ref. Is the refs? It was the stupidest fucking thing. The kids that ref, they all have sheep, and there was like this big sheep thing at the fairgrounds Saturday. Thing. I don't know. They do.
Welcome to Douglas County.
Yeah, it's a thing. And they're like, oh, we need to get one of the the league suggested that the coaches do it, and the one super fat chick was like, "Hey, my fancy cats, guys," and I was like, "What? Okay, Cartman. Well,
I said, why can't you bring a sheep here and the sheep will be the referee?
right. Anyway, so Riv goes, my dad knows the rules. He can be the ref, and I'm like,
I don't know the rules.
Yeah.
That's like.
So I grabbed my red little string and said, "You've been warned."
That was, yeah.
I'd be throwing out cards and just sticking them in their faces.
I got roped into umpiring a game last year. I just wanted to sit down and watch.
Yeah.
But they're like, we don't have an umpire. I'm like, they're like, hey, coach, will you do it? I'm like, okay, will someone bring me a hot dog?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So I'm standing behind home plate with with the mask like half on,
Ball.
protecting the part of my face that doesn't have a hot dog. And I'm like, ball. Ball two. Uno.
You're like,
Cranked.
full count. Full count. Hot dog in my hand.
Full count. I got hot dogs in both hands.
Full count.
3 and 2. Yeah, so I was at Mia's dance studio earlier today, and I just looked down at the rug. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are there swastikas all
yeah,
over?
that was interesting. I was like,
Like somebody definitely did this design on purpose.
Well, so there's this thing that the swastika hasn't always been a swastika, you know. So
I know that.
That could be part of the explanation, but at the same time, we kind of have also just said, nope, we're gonna not do
We don't need
Yeah.
the swastika any longer. We
Yeah.
can move on without that symbol. We've moved on without the fascies. We can move on without the swastika.
I wonder if the
Yep.
KKK
Except
still
for
wears
Chicago.
the hoods.
What?
What? To which
What?
one? KK
What about-
hoods or Chicago?
Chicago.
There's buildings in Chicago
Oh
that
yeah,
has the swastika all the way around the trim.
yeah, we talked about that
Yeah.
like back in December.
Yeah.
Back during Christmas time.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have pictures of it. I don't know where they're at now, but
And that was what you said then.
And then I think that led me to say something about the KKK and Skinner's Butte in Eugene, because it almost made me do that then, which leads me to believe I would have done it then.
That sounds right.
We could just redo that show.
I mean, we might be already. Who knows?
What
There
if
would be no way of knowing.
there would be no way of knowing? I could see it as a distinct possibility.
Oh, did you
Somewhere-
watch Beavis and Butthead last week?
I watched episodes 1 and 2.
I think that was the only ones they had.
Yeah, what's this? Is it out Wednesday? Like, is Wednesday the
I think
day?
it's Thursdays.
Okay, because I want to
So-
be like, that's one that
I
I've
haven't-
seen.
Yeah.
Old man Beavis.
I only watched the first 1.5 of those. Yeah, like it's, and then like Beavis is trying to fucking bang this old lady. Oh my god,
We'll have to talk about it.
that was good. Well, I was telling Dave about Ted Lasso. This new episode is the funniest episode of Ted Lasso ever.
I have to actually put
I was like just
and-
describing parts to it. Dave was laughing out loud.
Mhm. I'm gonna watch it after this.
I'm like achieving critical mass on watching several things. One of them being like the unbearable doubt of the incredible pressure, or whatever it's called.
I don't know what that is.
The movie with Pablo Pascal and Nicolas
Pedro?
Cage.
Oh, the
What did I say?
unbearable weight. I don't know. You said like the undoubtable bearing, or I don't know what you said.
No, like Dave corrected me on the name of Pablo Pascal.
It's Pedro.
Pedro. That's what
I've
I
heard
said.
it both ways.
Uh-huh.
Or when
that
he
movie
said
is so funny
Pedro.
though.
Yeah, well, I saw a couple other clips from it, other than them
Yeah.
just smiling at each other in the car. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll watch. This movie looks pretty good.
That scene where they're in the pool. I think I sent it to you on
They're like,
TikTok.
Do an imitation to somebody.
Right.
This one,
Or
this one.
yeah, something or somebody. Yeah. Yes, that's the meme, Dave.
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's like it's that and the Ballad of Buster Scraggs or whatever it's called.
Is that the?
I've seen a few clips from it, and I've watched like the first 20 minutes, and it starts super slow because it's a Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah.
But it's like the scenes that I've seen on social media are so incredibly entertaining. I just want to watch the whole movie.
Is that the one with Randy Quaid or the dude dressed in white?
The dude dressed in white.
Okay, because I've seen both of them, and they're both named very similar, like the Ballad of.
It's the guy from Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I enjoyed that too. The other one with Randy Quaid was pretty entertaining too, but not a not a funny movie.
Hey baby. And then this guy. Yeah. Oh, so good.
But yeah, like I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Who are the Suns playing? Are they still in the playoffs?
The Suns beat the Clips yesterday.
Say goodbye to the Clip.
They gone. Yep. Russell Westbrook is out.
Jeez. I had high hopes for that LA team.
No,
they just didn't. They're injured so much.
Yeah.
They just can't get past themselves.
Robin, I found your next wife.
Oh God.
ESPN fires MLB reporter Marley Rivera for calling fellow reporter fucking cunt.
Yeah.
Let's
What's
hire
up?
Let's hire her. We're gonna hire her as our sports broadcaster.
Yes.
Hey.
Show sports.
Can we get her on Root Sports instead of the bums that are on there now?
We're gonna call it Cunt Sports.
KUNT.
Oh, I think that name's taken too.
That's our call sign. Heyo. Well, that's our call letters for they don't make, it's either K or W, so we don't really have a choice.
Well, if it's radio, we could just be like.
That's TV too. TV is K and W.
Well, how is ESPN a thing?
Because that's the name of the
broadcast
station.
TV. We can be cable, like TNT and TBS and.
Be cable. You want to get the cable?
WNBC.
WNBC.
Oh, that's such a good movie. I should go watch that again.
That is such a deep cut too.
Right?
Like I listened to the Sklar's Dumb People Town podcast, and every time they reference a radio station, they do that. They're like, WKPI out of.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so it's like I was like, wait a minute, are they doing the Howard Stern thing? And then just one day someone asked on the podcast, like, what is this about? And they're like, it's from Private Parts. I was like, okay, good. I did get one right.
One in a row.
It was like the peanuts are making me thirsty. I was like, I think that's from Seinfeld, but I don't know Seinfeld, so I'm gonna have to look this one up.
Pretzels, yeah. These pretzels are making me thirsty. You're not gonna say it like that, are you? No, I'm not gonna say it like that.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
And they do like a whole bit on just that line. It's very good.
It's very good.
I like how you're trying to say it's very good instead of that's funny. I'm hearing it and I'm realizing what it is.
I plead La Quinta. Oh, that's word to pimp.
Oh man.
I want to be in a gang. You are a part of a gang, Joe.
The presidential Discord is so good. I need to message that guy, whoever's running it, and be like, hey, just make me like a 3-second clip with Bill Clinton saying it's very good. Please. I will use it.
I will use it
and over.
Interminably.
All the time.
It will never stop. It will never stop being very good.
It's very good.
I like how I have one of those Trump stickers that said Biden did that, but it's pointing at Bill Clinton. Wait. It's very good.
Yeah.
He loves it. And then I get this one too.
That one's the OG.
That's a classic photo though.
So good. It's so good.
It's very good.
It's very, very good.
That is Clinton's Nixon peace sign thing.
Well, you know why he did it, don't you?
This?
Dave? Yeah.
No.
Robin may know this better than I, but it's because he would point a lot when he would talk, and someone's like, "Hey, you shouldn't point. Like that's really rude in a lot of cultures. And if you're going to be the president, like don't point at people." And he's like, "Well, I got a gesture. Is there anybody who's going to be mad at a thumb?" And they're like, "No." It's like, "Well, then I'm going to do a thumb."
Well, I mean, Obama took that too for like when he talked.
Yeah.
He just, right. We're gonna figure out what's going on.
My fellow Americans, we got together today. Now, I talked it over with Michelle, and we both think that'd be the best way to go.
Did I send you that video of George Bush speaking in Spanish?
Yes, yeah.
He's like the comments were like, why does he speak with way more confidence when he speaks in Spanish?
Because he has to slow down and think about what he's saying.
Right?
I feel like George Bush speaking Spanish is like your old white dad at a Mexican restaurant. Gracias. Can I get one more margarita, por favor?
But like the funny thing about it to me is like at the beginning, like as he started talking, like I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. He knows a few words of Spanish. I was like, oh shit, no, he actually does know Spanish.
He knows Spanish, yeah.
And he's explaining to us why he knows Spanish and why it's important for him to know Spanish.
Well, it would make sense for the governor of Texas.
That's essentially exactly what he said. He's like, I'm from Texas.
He's like,
right.
I took it in junior high.
Took it in high school. Took it in college. A lot of my friends are Mexicans, and growing up in Texas, dodging drafts. Like we both knew how to get away from stuff.
Right. I didn't go to Canada. I went to Mexico.
You boys like Mexico?
That was one of the better Family Guy George Bush bits. Is when he shows up for Vietnam, and he's like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm ready for the draft." And like, dude, it's over. The whole thing's over. He's like, "What? I missed it? What? Oh no, darn!"
Oh no.
I'll do some blow.
What'd you say? Yes.
What? No, that was the next line. I know you.
I know.
Drugs are bad.
I was also joking.
No,
here it is. I found it. Wait, here, I'll turn it up.
No quiero destruir un idioma muy bonito y por eso voy a hablar un poquito en español, pero mucho en inglés. ¿Dónde aprendió español? Aquí en Texas. Hay muchos mexicanos americanos que viven aquí y también es mi escuela del junior high, también en high school. Estudié español. Es un idioma muy grande, es un idioma muy importante aquí en este país. Veo que habla español.
Dude, he does sound so much more articulate.
Right? Like,
Spanish.
I don't know what he said.
So what he said is that he learned Spanish here in Texas. There's a lot of Mexican Americans in Texas, and he learned it in junior high. He learned it in high school. It's a very big language. It's at the very beginning, he says he can speak a little bit of Spanish, but he can speak a lot more in English. Basically, he was trying to get away with not speaking any Spanish.
That's kind of what I thought.
And then he presses him, and he's like, "Well, I learned it here." And then he says it's a very big language, and it's a very important language, especially in our state.
There we go.
So, all right, man.
All I heard was
Cool. All right, here we are.
Burrito.
We're back again. It's another edition. It's another episode of my show.
Por favor, ¿dónde está el baño de biblioteca?
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? I need to eat for my bone. Oh, sometimes Dave goes full Jack Black sometimes, and it's beautiful.
It happens.
You can see that on the video podcast available.
Something we live with.
Something we have to deal with. Hey boys, hi.
What's up?
Should we do the intros? We're joined. We got 3 guys here. Hey, look at my belly.
3 guys.
3 guys.
Jake. It's Robin.
Me. Is that guy?
It's Dave.
David?
There. Bing, bang, boom. We got guys here and there and everywhere.
Bing bong, fuck you.
Wherever you need guys, we have guys in that place.
We got guys on your guys.
Exactly.
Dave, you fucked your mic up.
Yeah, your mic is now very quiet. He's like, oh, where did it go?
He's like, I haven't even seen my mic.
I don't even know where it's at.
That work?
I heard it. Yeah, it's better.
Say something else.
So
Still pretty
Still
quiet.
Yeah.
that's weird.
It is weird.
They
It is weird.
I
Makes
didn't
me feel
unplug
so
anything.
good.
Hey, did I send you that TikTok of the guy that made coffee poop or poop coffee?
Yes, I responded, ew, gross.
Oh, the guy.
What the fuck is up with that?
It's a
I was
movie.
more interested in the fact that he had like several awards from Google for being the first person to Google something.
Yeah, like that. He just kind of blows past that part, and it's like, yeah, because I ordered this Dove poop coffee. I'm like, the fuck?
Oh, you guys never heard of that? Like civet coffee?
Yeah, I know about
Yeah,
that.
we know
Yeah.
what that is, but this
Okay.
is like, let me find it.
Not
He was
Human poop
it's
coffee?
so weird.
That was pigeon poop coffee.
Pigeon
Is it
poop
this
coffee.
guy? Nope, that's not
That-
him.
I have not heard of that one.
This guy doing the Macho Man thing. He's like, oh yeah.
Cup of coffee in the big time.
Well, anyway, I don't know where it's at. We'll find it someday.
Oh, since that was
so
just mentioned, Jake, did you get my text about
Ric Flair on
being on
Joe
the-
Rogan?
yeah?
Yeah.
Guess what kind of clips they show on that show?
What kind?
WWE.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. It's weird how, like, when they're.
How are they allowed? What's the?
Well, I would imagine that Ric Flair is like,
Mm.
hey, Vince, I want to get this. I want to get some video clips, and they used them on the Joe Rogan podcast. Is that all right? Woo!
Why does
Also,
he sound like Mick Foley?
He's gotten
They-
older.
There are very similar voices when you break them down.
That's fair.
It really is, and it's like even like back in the day, like 80s. Ric Flair has always sounded like an old man.
If the only reason I sounded like Mick Foley is because I wasn't shouting. If I was doing it loudly, it would have sounded more like Ric Flair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm.
Yeah, I did. I listened to about half of that interview.
Mm.
It
Would you-
hurt.
It hurt.
I realize I don't like Joe Rogan's interview style at all.
Gotcha.
It's like, wow, that's crazy. And so you were wrestling in the 80s. Wow. And then Ric Flair will talk for 5 minutes and then he'll be like, so you'd just be like in a match. And it's like, and I think they're high for the entire time, right? I'm like, that's fine. Like I do this show high.
Yeah.
But then it's like an hour and a half into the show, he's like, and now I want to talk about my marijuana, woo! And he like busts it out, and everybody starts getting high, and then the show just completely stops.
Yeah.
They're just like, this is Joe Rogan, who's not, in my opinion, a great interviewer. Like he gets good content, but I don't think he's a good interviewer. You have Ric Flair, whose brain is fried from drinking every day for the past 70 years. And then you've got young Jamie, who's misinformed and fangirling over Ric Flair the entire episode. So, like, the 92 Royal Rumble, when they held up the belt because of controversy, like, young Jamie's like, oh, yeah, that's just what they did back then. That's what the Royal Rumble was for the championship. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah,
he does say that year.
It sounded like he said back then. I don't know.
No,
I would have to go back and scrub the audio
I'm
files.
pretty sure he does reiterate that it was like that year. That's what they did, because it was like the title was vacant or something like that.
Yeah. In any event, there were a couple times I was like, Jamie, you ain't got a lie to kick it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I listened to a lot of the interview, and I got frustrated by him saying that there weren't any influences from the wrestling business on him, that his only influences were like Joe Namath and Muhammad Ali. I found that laughable and disingenuous.
I've seen him talk about it other times, so that's annoying.
Yeah, it's like your name is Nature Boy. Have you heard of any other Nature Boys? Maybe
Are you the first one?
No, he
Are you
wasn't.
the only one? No.
And he looks exactly like Gorgeous George. And like, I was like, Rick, it's okay for you to say that you innovated being a heel and being the cool heel and being the cocky heel. It's okay to say all that, but don't try to act like your shit was you were the one that came up with this.
Well, I think you kind of nailed it though when you mentioned him drinking for 70 years. Like, he probably genuinely thinks those things.
Or has gaslit himself to the point where he believes it.
Maybe. Who knows? That guy, he's seen some things, but like most of it's his own doing.
Yeah, and
really.
And that was kind of the conversation that they were having too. Is he's like, yeah, I'd give him the address of the Marriott, and we'd have 300 ladies showing up at the Marriott and waiting for him. He's like, 300 ladies, man, wow! Like he like took them all back to your room. He's like, no, I couldn't do that. There were other guys with me, but I got first pick of them. He's like, yeah, man, you couldn't do that now. Wow.
Meanwhile, Ric Flair does that now.
Jake wants Joe Rogan to have an intellectual conversation with a 80-year-old wrestler.
I don't want him to have an intellectual conversation. I want him to ask a question or two.
Well, I don't think you. I mean, I think you nailed it. That you don't like that kind of podcast. That's what his It's all conversation. There's no interview.
Well, it's to a point. Like, it works with certain types of guests. When you have a great storyteller, like when we listened to The Undertaker, when The Undertaker was on Joe Rogan,
yeah,
like Joe basically got out of the way and just let The Undertaker tell stories.
Yeah. Well, Jake the Snake was the same.
That's what I meant. I meant Jake the Snake, not The Undertaker. Yeah, because that's who we listened to on the way back from Redbox. Like, yep. I just completely don't remember Joe Rogan as part of that at all. But like, I don't know, when I hear from someone who I've like enjoyed at this point, and he's going to do a 2.5 hour conversation with somebody, like, I want there to be at least something covered instead of I don't know, like, I got an hour and a half in and I'm like, I've learned basically, I not learned, but like, there's been nothing in this conversation.
Yeah.
And so I got frustrated by it. I listened as far as I could. I was like, this isn't what I came here for.
I don't know if I could have a 3-hour conversation with anybody.
Well, I mean, like, Jake is on the nose with that. Joe doesn't really do a whole lot of talking.
No.
Yeah.
Like, he will listen to someone speak, and then he'll pick out something that they mentioned, and he's like, hey, can you expound on whatever you just said? And they're like, so
he
this
is
what
very
I mean
good at what do you mean by that?
Yeah. He'll occasionally have an idea or know something, like he reads a lot of books, and so he'll be like, oh, well, here's part of what you're missing in the story that you're telling or idea that you're explaining.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite ones though are like, is it Bob Lazard? Is that his name? The guy that worked at Area 51 or like secret, like the stuff that he's told Joe and the other people that Joe's had on talking about how, like the last one I heard, I don't remember the name and I'm terrible at that stuff, but the last guy that was talking about Bob Lazard was like, yeah, this guy, he's either telling us the truth or he's been really, 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 really lucky on the things that he's described and then other people have verified. It's just, it's interesting to hear those things. I don't know. They're my favorites.
I think, wasn't Lazard the guy that worked like propulsion systems at Area 51 or something like that? Yeah, he said
there was like an element 115 or something like that basically created propulsion without any external propulsion. It was basically bending gravity. It was able to bend gravity around it.
Welcome to Science with my show.
Which is essentially how they believe these extraterrestrial ships can maneuver underwater without disturbing anything.
Right. And so like one of the things that's come from that idea is that what if these aliens, because we're not seeing them show up, but they are being spotted coming from the water.
So I was having.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I've got a water alien story. I'm
Wait, what? A water alien story?
Yeah.
Let's hear it. It's time for water
I'm here
aliens,
for it.
Dave.
Wow.
So I was on watch.
Wow, that's crazy. You saw a water alien?
Saw water. No, I didn't.
Alien dude coming out of the water.
Something that we couldn't explain, so we didn't report it.
Wow.
Because we're out on watch. Gun mount, middle of the night. I'm talking to my buddy Michael Doss.
So this is a military operation.
I mean, technically.
Oh God.
It's crazy.
So we're out on gun mount watch in the middle of the night. Nothing to do. It's freezing cold, and a lot of times you just lean over and you just look at the ocean, right? So we're cruising along, and me and Mike are both looking over the side, and we see like Mike Doss, a kid that I was in the Navy with. He's from Texas.
Cool.
So we kind of hear this like a kind of like a low like whoop kind of sound, right? And we're looking in the water and we see a bright flash. So we tried playing it off because a lot of times when you're out to sea, you ever seen like a lot of people that have been out to sea, the plankton, because it's I don't know the word, the
bioluminescence.
That's the word. You know, you'll see sparks, but this one's like a big one, a lot bigger than I'd ever seen just regularly. And we see, you know, in movies when there's a torpedo's going through the water and you kind of see the ripples,
the bubbles, yeah.
You see bright flash ripples underneath the ship, and we're just both like, we're just like, and we look at each other and we're like, "Did you see that?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, and he looks at me, he says, "What the fuck do we call that in as?" And I'm just like, "We don't say anything and see what happens."
Wow.
Because what
if someone asks us about it, we say, "Yeah, we saw that." I guess.
Yeah, like we didn't like it was something like that. It was like, what do you call up to the CIC, the command center?
I don't know. What do you call to the CIC?
I don't know. What am I supposed to say? Hey, I just saw a bright flash and a ripple through the water that traveled underneath the ship.
Fast.
Like
really fast.
Just like, and it was like it was over as quick as it started, and we're just like, and then nothing happened. And we're like
that's what stealth technology is just the ability to bend light. If you can bend light so the light doesn't hit you, you can't be seen.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's my one. I think I may have seen an alien, or I might have been sleep deprived and running off of energy drinks and pre-workout.
Yeah, but Bob Ross saw it too.
Bob Ross did see it.
Was that his name? Bob Ross did see it was the name of the episode.
Actually, I'm gonna text him right now and be like, "Hey, do you remember that time?"
And he's gonna be like, all of a sudden there's gonna be a van outside Robin's place.
Right? Like they're showing up.
And then I'm gonna be like, "No, not that time. Not your penis." Oh, it's also the guy who lassoed his dick while he was sleeping.
Did what?
What?
I lassoed his dick. So.
Oh my God. That reminds me of a Ted Lasso thing, but I'll come back to that.
I was walking through the berthing, the sleeping area, and this couple of guys are like, "Hey, Deaton, check this out." They're like, "What?" I go to Doss's rack, his bed. They're bunk beds, right? And there's curtains.
Got a boner.
No, he didn't have a boner, thankfully.
He pitched a tent.
Actually, if he had a boner, it would have been easier. But
what I'm saying, it was like horseshoes.
His dick had fallen out of his boxers, but his curtains were just open enough that all you could see is his dick. So I told someone, "Hey, go get me some shot line. It's this really small line." So I made a little lasso, and we climbed up on the racks, and I just kind of swung it until I could tuck it under his dick. And then I pulled it, and then I tied it off to an overhead pipe, so his dick was standing straight up because it was lassoed and tied up. And then we started banging on his rack, like, "Doss, get up!" And he rolls over and he goes, "Oh, what the fuck?" As he turns his dick. I think he had boat burns on his dick.
Oh my God. Oh, that is the funniest
So
story.
Hi, my name's David. Today I'm
ever,
lassoing Dave this dick.
and
I'm
that
gonna
was the
text him
day.
about that too.
That was the day
Like-
that they started naming him David, the Dick Roper Deaton.
Dick Roper Deaton.
Oh
The dick. I'm gonna start calling you
my
Dick
God.
Roper.
So the new Ted Lasso, like, is the funniest episode of Ted Lasso ever. And I'm just gonna spoil a tiny bit of it. I may have already texted it to you. The guys are trying to learn a new way of playing soccer. New to them. And as Roy is a coach, he has an idea. The idea is they're gonna tie everybody's dicks together.
Sounds
So
like
they've
my
got
kind of
their
episode.
so they've got their dicks tied together with red ropes. And the idea is you need to be aware of where your teammate is at all times. And what better way than tying your dicks together? I fucking died laughing. That shit was so funny. And obviously somebody's going to have an accident. And the way they just describe it, and they're like, ah! Everybody stops. And he's like, oh my God. And then looks, and you'll just have to wait to see what happens. But it's funny. And the idea is they're learning total soccer, which basically is like you got your 11 guys, 10 of them out there on the field, and everybody is made to replace the person that moves from an area with the ball. So if you have 3 guys in the back line, one guy's
Your
goes
center
to the
back
right.
becomes a right back. Your right back.
And it just and so the idea is that you have somebody to replace the whole time. Well, as the coaches are doing it, they decided that Beard and the Kit Man would trade places, and so Beard's over there standing at the back, and he's like fumbling around with the water bottles, and then you see him. Ted goes, and Coach Beard, what do you think? And it pans over to the fucking Kit Man, and he's got a paper beard on him, and he's dressed like Beard, and he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I died laughing. I was like, it was like 12:30 at night, and I knew Dave was still here, and I was like, he's gonna come ask me what the fuck am I watching, because I was laughing so loud. I was like, this is hilarious. Funniest episode ever. You should watch.
Forward to watching it.
I look forward to catching up.
Oh man, you've got some episodes. The last one was their best episode, I think, and then this one, easily the funniest. Easily, I died. I didn't laugh as hard as Dave's Lasso joke, but fuck, Dave Lasso.
Dave's Lasso is the name of this episode. I feel like Dave's Lasso Bar and Grill.
Dave's Lasso Bar and Grill.
Ben, make a logo.
If you can lasso this dick, you get a free beer.
No, that's a real challenge.
Oh my God.
Instead of dartboards, it's a lasso and a bunch of dildos.
Well, you know how they have you can throw the loop and get it on the hook. It's the same but it's with a dick.
The same, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, you've seen that little tailgate game where you like swing the little rope and it's got a ring.
Yeah, saying that.
Hook.
Yeah. Oh, that was what you were saying?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, are we hanging out on Saturday?
We're hanging out on Saturday.
Yeah.
Are you coming down, Jake?
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, spring game.
I for a moment I almost had bad news.
Oh.
So let me tell you the sequence of events as they've occurred.
Let me tell you, brother.
The sequence of events.
Well, let me tell you something, dude. Go in the. So everything was all well and good. Had made plans. Hey, spring game is the 29th. I'm gonna go. Cool. Have a good time. All right. Cool. Fast forward to like last Thursday. It was like the day after the podcast, and Jen's like, so they just announced what day picture day is for baseball. I'm like, what day? And they're like, April 29th. And I'm like,
Oh, guess you're not gonna be there.
I'm like, that's a bridge too far. that's the straw that broke the camel's back on it. If we're being 100% honest.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not coaching this fucking team anymore. Like, I'm not. It's taking up too much of my time.
Okay,
And something
that makes sense.
that I've been looking forward to for months is not going to go by the wayside because this team I elected not to coach and then somehow ended up coaching. But no, then so I was like, and then there was another event that was going on the same day, and I was like, oh God, I'm not going to be able to do it. Not going to be able to do it. And then my usual strategy of do nothing and it'll work itself out worked. When on Monday it was like, oh, by the way, spring game, you are still good to go in case you thought there was anything. And so I was like, all right, well, I'll just say nothing, and then I'll tell.
All right.
Any word on the other members of the crew? I'm sure Bales is going.
Yeah, I have not contacted Benjamin.
What about Arix?
I don't know. I haven't. Do you think Alex would go to the spring game? I guess we could probably text him in the group chat here.
I mean,
one of many.
Bales is just right there. Yeah, nobody has said that in so long.
There you go. Taking it
Alex
back.
isn't here, motherfucker.
Alex, are you coming to
Never
the
send it
spring?
there. Are you coming?
Are you coming?
Are you coming?
There we go.
That's awesome. That's funny.
And then spring sale the next week.
Spring sale might be a more difficult ask.
Oh yeah.
But we'll see. You never know. I'm potentially getting my car back on Friday, so.
Oh. Is Bales coming to the spring game or the spring sale?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably need me to take him there.
Oh yeah. He could ride the train.
Yeah. We'll pick him up in Eugene.
Yeah.
I'll also ask Benson if he's doing the spring game.
Yeah, we're moving on up. There was something else I was gonna ask you that was like in that area of things.
About
I don't know.
Here?
I don't know. So spring game starts at 1. Riv has a soccer game at 9, but it's in Sutherland, so that's
Closer.
like 50 minutes from Eugene.
Okay.
So done.
So
we're there by 11.
If we left here by like 7:30, should be. Shout out to Steve Summers. We should be in high cotton.
I will actually be bringing the wheelchair because my dad will need it. We're not just faking it this time.
Yeah.
I
wonder if there's gonna be a baseball game again this year.
I don't know. There's let me check. They sent me an email with like all these things that they have coming. I just read your text, so I said coming. I'll look at it. I'll look at it here.
I was gonna look too, because if there's a baseball game, I might go up early just to go watch the ball game, because I haven't been to a baseball game.
Well, last year they did the baseball game afterwards.
Yeah, it's usually after.
They did a home run derby.
Oh
Remember
yeah, the home run derby.
Yeah. I still have the baseball.
Oh yeah, I missed last year's spring game.
You did?
Baseball.
I got a baseball from their home run derby.
I like how it was just there.
Well, I had moved that cup from the living room because I heard that my sister would be moving back down to the crack, which means my parents would be saying, "Hey, we're going to be your roommate again." And I was like, I fucking hate this. I started moving my stuff because I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I need to start building the Man Shed 2.0. So I started building that this week. Oh, and I decided it's got a name. It's going to be called the Scrap House because I'm building it out of scraps.
I like it.
Yeah. I was like, and then if we ever decide to have fights in there, it's already got a cool name.
Yep.
Yeah. You can scrap.
Yeah. See? At first I was like,
it
looks like I'm building a small music stage.
You're like, maybe I am.
We could have concerts.
Yep, and call it the Scrap Yard.
Yeah.
Hey.
Now we got things going.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, whatever happened with the other trailer that you had?
Oh, my parents rented. Yeah. They were
No, I mean like the one that you were like tearing the guts out of.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that
somebody
one.
lives in it. Yeah.
Oh.
They
Okay.
rented it out.
And she's got some big old titties.
Dave may or may not have slept with the chick that lives there with her husband.
Oh, it's right up Dave's alley.
Right? Sounds perfect.
Well, not when she was with him. This was like in high school.
She was with another guy when Dave
Yeah.
slept with her.
Wait,
Yeah,
I actually slept with 2 of his girlfriends because I really didn't like him.
Oh, wait, who is the guy?
Monty Young.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his name's
There
Monty.
you go. Exactly.
Nobody's gonna argue or complain about that. I mean, except for maybe Monty Young.
Yeah, but
And all he
Yeah,
would do was
exactly.
talk. He told me he wanted to fight me one time, and I was
And
like,
then did
I'm right here, dude.
right.
I'm like, I'm right here.
He will do 2 things. Nothing and like it.
2 hits. I hit you. You hit the floor.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Been a fun fight, but whatever.
Dude, so check this shit out. I worked on that shed today, and it's like started to get hot at like 11:15. I'm like, all right, I'm done for the day. I'm sweating. I'm gonna go change. I go in the house, change, jump on Call of Duty, play that for a bit, and then I get a text from my mom, and I didn't see it because I'm playing Call of Duty, and I get another one and another one, and I finally look at it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And she's like, can you go help your dad? And then the next one was like, he needs to do something with the motorcycle. And the last one was hello with question marks, plural. And I'm like, calm your fucking tits. It's been 5 minutes since the first text. Sorry, I wasn't looking at my screen that whole time. Anyway, so I go to check on him.
Even if you were.
Right. I go check on him, and he's like, so the insurance company is totaling out the motorcycle and they're coming to pick it up tomorrow. And I'm like, oh shit. So he's like, that means I need to go take the trailer hitch off of it and swap out the rear tire because he has an expensive rear tire on there. And he's also unable to do that, which means I now have to do those things. And so not only do I have to do those things, but I have to do them with a supervisor sitting right there. 5 feet away the whole time. And I'm like getting frustrated with doing the shit. Like I got scrapes on my arms and shit. And it's 3:00. So it was like 75 degrees out, which is not too hot, but we've been in winter.
But when it's been
like,
40.
This is like the first or second day of actual spring we've had. So I'm pissed off. And he's like trying to tell me how to get this back tire off. And I'm like, do you want to do it? Because if you do, and he's like, I would if I could. I'm like, okay, well then stop talking, go in the house even, and I will get it done. Then I'll tell you when I'm done with it. And he just sits there, and I'm like, fucking whatever, just don't talk to me. So I fucking finished it up. Took me like an hour and a half to get all this shit done for him. But like he's still like he can walk a little bit, and then he's out of breath because he can't breathe. He broke 5 ribs. Punctured liver, all that shit. He's just
How many ribs did they find after the fact that he had broken? Because I remember you told me they're like, oh, he's got 2.
How many ribs did they find on the highway?
Damn. Right? Well, first it was just the one. They're like, he has a broken rib and a punctured liver. Okay. Then the next day we heard 3 ribs. Then 3 more days they found 2 more or 3. It was basically total 5. I don't remember what I said. I think it was 3 then broken, 5. 2 more.
Are these fissures or are these like fractures?
The one that punctured the liver is a fracture. Okay. The others I'm not sure. So I'm assuming they're just microfractures.
The reason I ask, because like if they find them days later, it could be that like swelling has gone down.
Yeah, they can see it. Yeah.
And they see things better. And so if there's cracks along the rib, that would still be a broken rib. I'm just, my brain is trying to process is trying to create a picture mentally of what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He does have a picture of the X-rays. Maybe I should go look at it and figure it out because I just kind of was like, I'm annoyed with the whole scenario right now. When we went to pick him up last Friday, my mom goes, "Oh, your dad's getting out at 10. on tomorrow, and it was like 7:00, and I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Well, my mom has, like recently become old, like just all of a sudden. So she's like super slow and terrible at driving. Like, okay. So I'll drive you to Eugene. We'll pick him up and we'll drive back. So we go up to Riverbend in Eugene. And he's like, I'll be at the entrance with the overhang. Well, he was in the ambulance when he got there. He doesn't know what the front of the building even looks like. I'm like,
and there's like
two overhangs on the front.
Yeah, there's two overhangs. There's one in the emergency room and there's one in the main grand entrance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we're trying to figure it out.
Fortunately, they're not far from one another, but still.
Right, but
different, completely separate parts of the hospital.
If you're trying to meet somebody or pick them up, it's a little difficult. So anyway, like I try to call him, and I guess like my mom was trying to text him, and he was just getting pissed off. And he finally shows up. He wasn't even down at the lobby. He told us he would be down at the lobby at 10, and we were there early, and he was still not there for like another 10 minutes. So whatever. Getting him in the car, though, that was when I realized, oh, shit, he's really still fucked up, because he goes to get up and he goes, and then he's okay while he's standing. And then he goes to sit down and all those same noises back the same way. Just
that, oh God, that reminds me of when I was working at the fruit shop, and the old guy who worked for the other company that we subleased from, like fell and broke his hip, and like I had to help lift him like into a truck so he could go to the hospital. And it was like one of the most savage things I've ever had to do, is just like bully this man into a truck with a broken hip.
Yeah.
And like I know that there's nothing else I can do but basically pull and shove. Like one of us is pulling, one of us is shoving, and I just got to not push on. Like I'm under an armpit, and
you're doing the best you can.
But you know that's
it just sucks.
Same noises. That's what made me think of that.
Yeah, like
sometimes you just got to do it quick. Get the pain over with, because it's gonna hurt either way.
It's gonna suck. Here we go.
Might as well suck a lot really fast, or suck a.
We already talked about her.
There's a lot of sucking going on there, Dave.
Just all over.
Welcome to my show. Everyone's sucking everyone.
Oh my God, Dave!
I'll suck you off right now.
I know you will. Do you want to tell us the story from your class today? Like your stories?
Yeah.
You should, because they were very entertaining. Right. I got a preview.
Yeah. So today for botany class, we went out to a park and walked around and picked flowers, and then we had to basically,
fucking nerd,
fucking nerds. Basically,
go pick flowers, school nerd, school bitch.
Key them out and figure out what family they're in, what genus, and all that other stuff.
That's real important.
Yeah, right. I have to take a botany class. I'm not doing this for kicks. But anyways,
sent you to college, and now you think you know everything.
I don't know shit. I don't know. That's
you don't know shit about fuck.
Yeah, right. I don't know though. But every time someone says pistol in my botany class, I'm like, Who saw it?
Oh, there's this one chick that calls him Knives.
Yeah.
Like the character from Scott Pilgrim.
Exactly like that. You know
because
why?
One time, so we're out doing plant stuff again, right? And so we have to dissect a few of them. I'm like, oh, here, I got a knife. So I give it to someone. I'm like, here, you can use that to cut it up. And then someone found another flower, and they're like, oh, we need to cut a few of these. And they're like, oh, well, David. I was like, oh, he's got my knife. And I was like, oh, hold on. Let me grab my other knife. So I pulled the other knife from my belt. I'm like, here
Dave,
you go.
other knife eaten.
Right. So now this chick calls me Knives.
He just calls her fingers.
Heyo. Blind guy walks by a fish market.
Which story do you want me to tell?
Morning, ladies. No, sorry, I was doing an Afro Man thing.
So the pencil story.
Yes.
So this one chick, we're all working on these things, and I'm writing, and I've got like a real pencil, a number 2 wood pencil.
Ticonderoga?
Yeah. She looks at
Hell
me.
yeah.
She says, why's your pencil so thick? And I'm just like, excuse me, I think my pencil is pretty normal and average. There's nothing wrong with my pencil. The wood on it is good and it works fine. And everyone starts laughing. And they're like, are you a little self-conscious about your pencil? I was like, no, I'm writing perfectly fine. Did she ask you about the girth of your pencil?
It's not about the length of the pencil, it's about the flow of the lead.
Right? And then this other girl,
the shavings in the sharpener.
Heyo.
This other girl I'm sitting next to, I put my book on top of her book to keep the wind. And our hands touch. Her hand goes on top of mine about halfway. And I looked at her and I was like, no, I will not make out with you in class.
So Dave is literally Billy Madison.
Right? I'm just trying to learn, people.
Sure. He's like, go on with the chlorophyll, Mr. Botany.
And she looks at me and she says, and she's kind of laughing. She knows it's a joke. She's like, I've got a boyfriend. And I was like, my ex-wife had a husband. And everyone did that like awkward laugh. Like, am I supposed to laugh at this? This guy's talking about getting cheated on by his ex-wife.
That's the funniest way to say that I've ever heard. My ex-wife had a husband.
Right.
There's so much context to that set. That's the funniest thing you've ever said. That's the funniest thing you've ever said, Dave.
I mean, I just heard a Dick Lasso story, and I'm not sure.
But you see, that was off the cuff, like in the moment. Like that's the funniest thing he's ever said. Like doing something and retelling the story.
Yeah.
You've said that before, haven't you?
Well, that's the difference between slapstick comedy and
slapdick comedy.
Slapstick comedy.
Between Dick Lasso comedy and Ted Lasso comedy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what else happened in shul?
No, just those. I called someone a that was driving on in front of everybody.
You asked.
You called him a what? That's crazy.
I said it classier. I said retard.
Well, that's different. That's quoting a movie.
That's okay. Yeah, you can.
Well, so we're at this park, and I hear this car from down the road. I just hear, and it's getting closer and closer. And I'm like, take your studded tires off, retard. And again, everyone, nervous laugh. Should I laugh at this? I don't know if I can laugh at this anymore. The guy said, retard.
Dave's out here challenging everyone's like ideologies of humor.
He's pushing their limits that they didn't know they had because they're so sheltered.
Yeah.
Like, I'm open-minded, right?
Right? you can't say that.
Oh my God. Jake,
I'm just saying, no one in this class is big enough to tell me what I can and can't say.
That's fair.
That's fair.
What happened with the old racist Jerry's favorite?
Oh,
here we just fucking here we go. Yes, let's get to it. I'm getting pumped.
So I don't know if you heard about this or not, but Tucker Carlson got fired from Fox News.
What?
Yeah, and racist Jerry was so incensed by this.
He was distraught,
grief-stricken
even, yes.
He left work for the day because Tucker Carlson got fired. He could not work for the rest of the day. He had to go home.
Oh my God, that sounds like, I don't know this guy, but I feel like that's super hypocritical. He probably sits around complaining about these snowflakes and soft ass people, and then Tucker Carlson gets fired and he leaves work.
On the nose.
Cheese and rice.
Cheese and rice.
Mm-hmm.
And so you mother farthing sons of furs. Yeah, so everyone the next day was just ripping him, just getting into his ass about it, just constantly, just like,
How many owned
hey,
it?
yeah, you left yesterday after Tucker Carlson got fired? Like, yeah, just
Dude, hey, tomorrow you should go into work and ask for time off because Don Lemon got fired.
It's true. You should
do it right in front of him. Do it right in front of him. Make sure he's there and be like, hey, I also found out that Don Lemon got he got released from CNN, so I feel like I really need to go home.
I wanted to respect work. Give him a couple days notice.
Yeah.
You know what I should do is I should say Keith Olbermann got fired from ESPN 6 years ago, and I still haven't quite processed it, and I need some time.
I'm still grieving the loss.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch some old ESPN highlights with Keith Olbermann.
What was that? There was that movie. I think it was Haley Steinfeld. I think it. But she's telling a teacher that she didn't finish her assignment. She's like, I don't know if you know this, but my dad died. And he's like, the teacher's like, when did this happen? And she's like, 3 years ago. He's like, I think you're good now.
Well, that guy, one good thing did come out of that. We had the question, what celebrity, was it death or firing, would affect you from work?
Yeah,
and
that's a big question. And as far as getting displaced from your job, nobody.
Right.
Yeah, there's nobody whose lack of income would make me stop my income.
Mm-hmm.
Except for like if my wife got fired, I'd probably go figure out.
Yeah, see, that was my only thought was like
but she's not a celebrity.
Other,
yeah,
right?
But that's more of you're taking the day off not because you are, you're hardened. Like, but like
we got to figure out who's who and what's what.
You're taking the day off to go be someone's rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You know. Well, like it made me think of like when my grandma died last year. Right. I was at work. This is how my family handles things. I was late. I was heading to work and I was late. My mom called me to tell me that my Lola died. Right. But I would have been at work when she called, and she knows that. She was gonna tell me on a voicemail.
Wow.
That's how my family. That's just how my family is.
Dave, and then Dave was like, he gets to work late, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm late. My grandma died." And everybody's like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. That, I totally understand why you're late."
Yeah, right. No, I was just late. So the day goes on, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm at work. This is the thing I know how to do. I know how to do my job to push out everything else in my mind. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing my job, right? Yeah, continue working, right? So we're standing around having a meeting after some asshole tried to bite somebody. And I'm not really saying a whole lot. I'm just kind of listening, just standing there. And everyone's like, hey, Deaton, what's up, man? You all right? And this girl, good friend of mine, she's like, what's wrong, Deaton? Your grandma died or something? And I just look up at her, and she's like, oh my God. And she takes off crying.
Oh, shit.
Ruined her whole day.
Right? She immediately starts bawling and takes off.
Right. Because she thought she was just.
Yeah, just like
fucking ripping you. Yeah.
Right? And that's exactly how I took it. And I was going to be like, oh, yeah, she did. But everyone just like saw it.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then she comes back. She's like, I am so sorry. I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, you would have said that on any other day. It would have been fine.
Right.
Like, it's not that big of a deal. And then at that point, everyone's just like, hey, you should go home. You should do. I was like, no, because if I go home, all I'm going to do is sit around.
Yeah.
And be upset.
Think about this.
Yeah. I was like, if I'm here, I give myself a chance to just not think about it, do my job. Like, I'm going to think about it. You can't not think about it.
Like, I can be upset and make money, or I can be upset.
Yeah. It's that, and making money's not the thing, but you know what I mean. You know you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm not going to take the day off because what am I going to do? Go home, pack my bags, jump on a plane, and fly to the Philippines? Like, that's not happening.
No.
So.
And to do what exactly?
Yeah, to do what? To sit around and not understand what everyone is saying?
Be in the Philippines. Yeah.
Like, we're all going to be grieving together, but I'm not going to know what's going on.
It's going to be like, yeah. What
right.
She said, can I get some more of that food, though?
They do have some good food.
I'll just come back 20 pounds heavier.
It's like food has been a big part of the grieving process in the Philippines.
Dude, when we went and picked up my dad's bike on the way back, Dave was telling me about when he was in the Philippines and like the food size, the portions are smaller.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Well, because so in the Philippines they do have McDonald's, but the big one is called Jollibee's, right? I was 12 years old, and they've got this burger called the Big Champ Burger, and it's advertised as our biggest burger. I was 12 years old and I ate 3 of them. Because their Big Champ Burger was like the dollar menu cheeseburger sized. And I'm just like, this is big for them? Oh yeah, that's why I outweigh all these people. I outweigh grown adults at 12 years old.
I mean, technically,
Poverty
is it
will do
not
that.
a third world country?
Yeah, I mean, it
Yes.
is.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Dave walked in with a $10 bill and was like, "Give me all your cheeseburgers." And I'm like, okay.
Right?
Well,
the
I
cool-
feel like you may have misunderstood me.
Yeah, I said all of them. I think you heard.
Bring me a lot of cheeseburgers.
Yeah, bring me a lot of cheeseburgers.
What I actually said was,
all of your cheeseburgers.
and I buy the restaurant.
Yes. To this day, young Dave he's doubled his money and made $3 US.
Right.
Oh.
Well, I mean, the cool thing about went there after I graduated high school, and like I had a pretty good job in high school. Like, Robin knows, I made pretty good money. We drank just about every night of the week.
Yeah.
But I went there and we rented out. My little brother and I rented out. What do they call them? Internet cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Because not everyone has internet. We rented out an internet cafe for a whole day, so that all the kids in the neighborhood could come play Counter-Strike and get on a computer and
Oh wow,
go on the internet and do stuff. And everyone's, it's that. Yes, that's a big deal, right? That's a cool thing to do. But to me and my little brother, like that was nothing as far as money wise.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy how far, like we were children with money, with a little bit of money, and we could do so much in the Philippines. So third world country spending is it's pretty cool.
That's why we should go to Belize.
Belize, everyone's partying in Belize.
I send you to Belize.
Let's go to Turkey.
I'd go. I bet you would.
We can go to Turkey, get our teeth cleaned.
Fuck, I don't know why I'm not going to Belize right now. Anyway, so Ben was up here.
Oh yeah, you guys took that picture. The Jews.
Yes, the Jews brothers. So yeah, he came up. He finished his 2 weeks of maneuvers with the U.S. military, and he's like, hey. So we had a combination of his 21st birthday 420 celebration. So that Thursday, he and I and Bales, we smoked a bunch. We watched the Beavis and Buttheads, laughed a bunch, and then we watched Twilight Zone and talked about how if a 3-dimensional being could manipulate a 2-dimensional being without the 2-dimensional being aware of it, could a 5th-dimensional being then take a 3-dimensional being and manipulate it without us knowing it?
I don't have enough hope to think about that right now.
We'll talk about it.
What is the 5th dimension? Is that time?
There's a 5th dimension beyond time.
Oh yeah, because fourth dimension is time, right?
Yeah, 4th dimension is time. Yeah, we'll talk more about this weekend. Anyway, so we did that. Then he showed up on a Thursday, and I was like, well, bro, I still have work tomorrow, so I got to go to work.
Yeah. I can't just Don Lemon it out.
Yeah. And so I had this realization because I was feeling that took a second.
I noticed. Dave got it. Jake was talking and then it clicked.
Then it clicked. And I was like, it must be nice for him to have a day, just one day where he has no expectations. Yeah. Nobody wants him to be somewhere. He doesn't have to go do this or that or anything else. He can just hang out. And if anyone wants his attention, he's in Seattle. I'm sorry, I can't help you right now. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that must actually be very, very relaxing. And then I didn't feel so bad about leaving him in my apartment all day when I went to work. But yeah, that Friday night we got out. We went to this little Mexican restaurant just down the street and got some really good $5 margaritas. We went to a little bar in Fremont called Adball, which is a gamer bar. It got a whole bunch of pinballs and arcade games and whatnot. Mad Dog on ice, and in case you want some Mad Dog.
Yeah.
It's that kind of establishment.
Samson's really excited about that.
Hashtag give me those fingers. So then after that, like, we were trying to figure out what to do, and like we went to another bar, and then I was like, I know, like, nightcap at Big Mario's, which is a pizza place, but there's a bar in the back. And so we go there, and I happen to remember that because I'd been there once before, and they have a shot ski, but it's on one of those pizza scooper things. I don't know what it's called, pizza scooper. You know, like for getting the pizza out of the oven.
Pizza spatula, maybe?
I call it a pizza shovel.
Pizza shovel. Perfect. And so there are spots for shots on the pizza shovel. And so
spots for shots.
Pizza spots for shots on the pizza shovel. And so I get the girl's attention behind the bar, and I'm like, hey, can we get 3 shots on the pizza spatula? And she's like, no one's ever asked me that before. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I mean, I've done it once, I can do it twice, right? And
you look at her and say, what are you, new?
What are you, new? So we did the shot, and then I'm pretty sure it was Bailey who was like, can we sign it? And she's like, what? Like, can we sign it? Since we did the shot ski, like, can we sign it? She's like, let me call the owner real quick. No one's ever asked me that before. She calls the owner. He doesn't answer. And so we're just kind of standing there waiting for my tab to come. And she's like, so who are you guys that just like walk into the bar and just flex on everyone, do this shot and leave? Like, what the fuck? Because she's like, can I get you guys anything else? I'm like, no, I'm good. We're out of here. Like, we got a pizza.
She just started whispering badfacts.info.
Badfacts.info. But she got taken in by the cult of personality by the 3 of us, and we got to sign the pizza spatula. And so we're hoping one of 2 things will happen. Either we'll go there to Big Mario's and there will be a new pizza spatula, or in which case we have photo evidence, or we'll go and it'll just be covered in signatures.
It'll be signatures. Yeah.
And then we have started a tradition.
Started the thing.
Yeah, started the fire.
Yeah. It was always burning since the world's been turning. Harry Truman go stage.
I feel like I need to come up there so I can go to Big Mario's and
Joe McCarthy, Richard Nixon, Institute of Baker Television, North Korea, South Korea, Maryland, Monroe, Weed.
Ryan started the fire. Oh, I thought you were doing Dwight.
I was doing the song too.
It's the same. Yeah.
It's one of my karaoke deals.
Oh,
I haven't
that would be a
good
good
enough
one
to do karaoke in a long time.
I do that for karaoke.
Yeah. Last time I did karaoke, nobody was playing the song, and I just sang medium pace.
You sure did.
You see that? No, I sang it last week.
It's how Robin closes out the show from now on.
No, it's not.
See that shampoo?
Those people.
Stick it in my ass!
My hockey team's gonna lose to fucking Seattle. My life sucks.
Well, I hope Golden State loses. So
let's see what they're doing. Let's take a look real quick.
Check the scores. Do a little score check, Steve.
Here's something I've never googled before: Sacramento Kings. It's a 3-point game with 2 minutes to go. These people, they could fit anywhere in the world, but they're here with us. We appreciate that. Make sure you're checking us on all of our delicious social medias. That's YouTube and also at badfacts.info. No, Dave. This episode, this edition of my show with Alex and Jake. Good night, universe.
And watch me whack off!
That's a podcast!
Go Ducks!
Go Ducks.
make sure to go and check out definitelynotsellingdrugs.com.